cheated, and I was on. I woke up middle of my sleep. I just felt like I need to say it. I felt like I gotta say it. I gotta tell her because it would just eat me up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like God was telling me to tell her. So um, and I did. I told her, and when I told her, she didn't give me the response I thought it was get. It was like it was just like normal, like it was all good. Like I'm expecting a black woman to just slap me up, do me all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm leaving me ultimately, and she didn't. She stayed with me. It was a very awkward night that night, of course, but um, it hurt my soul. We kept going, and then ended up moving to Atlanta, and then we moved to Atlanta. This is the last year of our marriage, and man, I went out there for the clothing line. I had to, I was trying to start that out there and continue it out there because it made more sense to be out there. And fast forward, man, we got into this argumentations, and it just kept happening. It kept getting more intense when we got out there, and then we got therapy, counseling, and stuff like that, which we did not do before marriage because I didn't trust nobody. It wasn't the conversations we're having nowadays, which where I'm doing therapy festival now. We're like, it wasn't common back then. You know what I'm saying? I didn't trust nobody. I didn't trust any pastor. I didn't trust any just random person because I wasn't around all that at the time at all. Still not, of course. But I wasn't trusting to just like, at first, even when she was saying to even potentially do it, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, man, God gonna guide us. And he did. He did. And I don't have no regrets about that. But I definitely wouldn't advise that anybody else do that though. Right? So, because I understand now how important it is, because it could have avoided this. But still in the same mind, I don't like to say that because I'm so glad it happened. Another thing that I learned was like the truth is consistent. And one thing I can pat myself on the back that I was consistent with my truth. I told my darkest before we got married, so there was no confusion about who I was as a person, as a man, what I struggled with. So nothing would be a surprise. And I was saying those things so that I could, because I'm letting you know that, for me, what I understand about that is by saying it, I'm saying I'm open for constructive criticism. I'm open for the help that can come with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know that, hey, I need help in these areas. So what I learned is that the truth is consistent. And that kept me grounded. That kept me grounded to who I am, my core. So that anything else will try to come against that, I knew it was a lie. I knew it wasn't me. Because I already put myself out there. I already shared my truth. I already told you who I am. This is what I'm about. This is what I struggle with. Hey, you can't throw nothing in my face. You can't make me feel bad about anything. You can't make me nothing. So I told my truth, and it's consistent, but I didn't get the same in return, unfortunately. And that was my problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that was my fault. Because I thought I did something. I'm so sorry. Meaning by dug, I mean I literally asked certain questions, and I got answers, right? But it was vague answers. I finally learned. I learned that it was vague answers. It was just enough just to pass the test. Meaning it was just enough just to say for the moment, just so you can get on to the next question or get on to the next event in life, so we can, go on our next date, or whatever you want to call it, right? Or change the subject, that type of thing. And I now know that it was just hard for her to talk about those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard to express those things because of how dark and how painful this stuff really was for her. I didn't know at the time because she had told me certain traumas, but it was not. It was. I didn't. The stuff that she told me later, I did not know. I was like, goodness gracious, I didn't even know it could be even close to that stuff. And when she did tell me certain things, fine towards the end, by then it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Because towards the end of the divorce, it was like she just really was trying to escape. She wanted to go. Cause I ain't gonna lie, with me, I'm pressure, man. I'm pressure, boy. And what I mean by pressure is like I don't play about being real. You know, um, it's already rare in this world as it is, and I'm talking about just being genuinely open. Especially when I'm giving it to you, I'm being an example of that. I'm doing that. I'm being real. I'm being open with you, um, because I feel like that's how we should be as people, and be authentic enough. Um, but I was not getting that in return, and that spoke so much down the line. I finally realized it spoke so much to me. Although she didn't speak a lot, that spoke to me. That said, but although she didn't speak a lot, that said a lot. You know, and I really didn't know what to do during the marriage. At the time outside of counseling and stuff like that was being counseled and then even in crazy part is too. Watch this, y'all. Is that even in counseling, there was no honesty on her end. It was like everything was about me. It's like what I did, what I this, it was like meaning it was like it was on me. And I ain't have no problem with that. But I brought up her this, that, and the third, but it was certain things. It was like it's all on me, but I didn't mean it. Most of the stuff was about me, on me. Uh, and when it come down to it, it's like, oh, what about you? Everybody know about my core. They know about what I'm struggling with, like real deal, my core, what I struggle with. But they don't know about yours. Whatever she did tell was like surfacey, you know. And so, yeah, man, I just learned so much through that, man. Because if you're gonna be in counseling, man, tell the truth. If you and your significant other are gonna be in counseling, both of y'all need to be fully truthful. Because if you go into counseling to get help, and both of y'all actually care about each other and love each other like y'all say y'all do, be honest. Don't be holding nothing back. This is the place to get the help. This is where the mediation is at. The mediators are at. And then as counselors, for anybody maybe listening as a counselor, I don't know if you already do it. If you do, good, amen for you. But get to know these people. Don't just get to talking about these problems and stuff like that. Bump all of that. Who are you and who are you? Let's talk about whether you got to do that separately, the husband and wives and stuff like that, man with man, woman with woman, cool. Do it, but get to know the person individually. That's the first priority. I don't care how long it take. Get to know enough about them. I ain't saying that, taking years, whatever, maybe stretching the money and all that stuff. But I'm talking about really prioritize getting to know them individually. Some type of a workshop, something to get to know them individually. They got to fill out before they go on just be talking about the problems. Because if we talk about the problem, then we just spending money here to talk about the problem. We ain't getting to the core about nothing. So if we're gonna do counsel, come in there honest, man. Both sides. Do not be in there. And if somebody's not being honest, call them out on it. If you feel if you know at the time that person's not being honest, call them out on it, talk about it, bump all that other stuff. That's how I feel. And that's what I know. Because it was definitely not happening. And it's not always this intentional thing, I'm sure, right? Sometimes you can get caught up because this is the fresh thing that's happening, but Sometimes it is intentional because this person is afraid to talk about that dark place that they are literally trying to bury in their minds. They're trying to throw it away. They don't want to talk about it. I know some of y'all may say, well, this is why you need a personal therapist outside of a marriage. Yeah, I hear you, but that still costs money, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So if we're going to be up in here, we might well scratch the whole thing now. The situation. So just coming to be honest, man. If you really want help and if you don't want to be together for whatever reason, say it. At least that's being real. And hey, at one point she said it. But she was trying to do like some break separation thing. I was like, I ain't doing that. If you want to separate with me, we done. This ain't high school. This ain't none of that old having a break and you get to go and do your little thing and whatever, and come back when you realize how stupid that was, or when you realize, or you feel like you want to get back with him, whatever. This toxic game. I said, we gonna be done. We done. We went through that one time towards the end in Atlanta, and then realized, okay, they kind of, everything got good seemingly, talked about things and squashed it all and got back right. That feeling was still there buried. One thing about it, I can admit I did something. I didn't do it the whole marriage at all. I was trying so hard not to do something to cheat on this woman because I was going through, man, really, I was going through hell in that household, man. Because the hell was for me was, why won't you open up to me? We talking about, I'm talking to her, caring about her heart, caring about what's on her mind, what's going on, this and that, pushing her gifts, pulling everything out of her that she's doing and stuff like that. I'm talking to her, listening to her, giving her a safe place. But she wouldn't do it, she wouldn't give it. This wasn't this all I was trying to do thing. I was working a lot, trying to get right with this business stuff. But in between, I was trying, tend to do what I'm supposed to do. Of course, all this other stuff in life, you got to, travel here and there every now and again, grocery shopping, walking the dog, whatever, You're talking about in between, I'm really trying to get to know, and it was so frustrating. I didn't even know that I was that frustrated because it was so normal at that point. But then it'll be like a moment I'm contained, I'm letting stuff slide, and then when it finally a situation comes and click the right button, I snap. Nah, man, I'm yelling because this and that, because it's like, man, she's victim and all this and stuff. Why you yelling and all that stuff like that? I didn't realize, I'm trying with you. And I didn't realize, I'm so frustrated because I literally, I would tell her, it's like I'm talking to a brick wall.